Alright guys, so it's been a few days and I've used all of these lights. I'm actually pretty surprised by some. Some really let me down. I had bigger expectations for them and some really surprised me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break it down. I'm going to show you every single light, give you a brief explanation of what I think of it, as well as tell you my favorite light from each store. And then finally, I'm going to compare all three lights, tell you, in my opinion, what the best dollar store flashlight is as far as value. So Dollar Tree on the left here. Family Dollar in the middle, and Dollar General on the right. So I'll start from left to right and just go through all the flashlights. So as far as Dollar Tree, these were the only two flashlights that came with batteries. All the other flashlights that are available there do not have batteries. Of course, everything in the store is $1, so you can get a 4-pack of AA's or 4-pack of AAA's for the flashlights for $1. So essentially, you have to consider all these dollar flashlights $2 lights, because you can't spend $1 and walk out with a functional flashlight unless you're getting one of these. This one came with the batteries included, but it is not replaceable. So when the Beast batteries die, it's garbage. This is the only one that came with replaceable batteries with the batteries included, but they're little button cells. And you can see on the case there, they take 3 LR 130s, whatever. All right, so 3 little watch batteries. So this flashlight, it has 2 different modes. Push the button. You can see there's 2 LEDs on the side. Looks like it's pretty decent. It's not really. Once you turn the light off and stuff, it's really not, you know, allowing much light to come out. But the side is much better than the front. You push it again, turn it off, push it again, then you have just the front. Might be hard to tell from the video here, but it has a crazy artifact in the middle. So the very middle is actually dark, all right? And then around it you have some light, but it's very non-functional. From anything more than 5 feet away, you're not getting much. So the main feature of this light would be the side, or at least it's the brightest of this flashlight. Plus the whole flashlight just feels really chintzy and cheap, and just, I mean, you can hear, I mean, besides that, something else is rattling. I don't know. I really don't feel like this would last very long. When I first started playing with it, I liked this a lot. You can see the battery thing's falling off now. And the keychain thing broke just before I turn the video on. So, don't recommend this one at all. I had high hopes though. I thought it was pretty cool. They had a separate, you know, like wider beam here, but the wider beam is better than the main one, so just don't like it. Plus, like on a lot of these flashlights, the LEDs, they're like offset in there, and the reflectors are always junk. You know, they're just plastic and they're chipped. You know, even when they're brand new, so you get all those artifacts and stuff. So this one I'd stay away from. It's not worth it, even for $1. So this one I actually really like, and this is probably my my second favorite flashlight from the dollar store. Now I want to compare this to this. This is their kids option, and this one obviously is a Frozen character, but there's a bunch of different ones, like all different, you know, characters on this style light. The actual light stinks, all right? Really does not emit much light at all. It is an LED, which is nice, but again, you know, in shutting the lights off and using it at night, it really is not emitting much light at all. I feel like if you're gonna spend $1, and then obviously have to buy batteries separate for something like this, I think a kid would have a lot more fun with this one. This is not only a lot brighter than this light, and again, it's gonna be hard to tell or show that, you know, in this this video. This is a very concentrated beam, so it's very, very small. All right, so when you're looking at the wall from like 3 or 4 feet away, it's only emitting about a foot of light. And again, tons of artifacts, so there's shadows in it, and it's very difficult to see what you're actually trying to look at. This is much brighter than this light. They're both $1. But this one has some other cool features too for camping and just for fun for a kid to play with. So you first turn on, you have the regular flashlight, right? You can see it's an LED in there. You hit it again, and it's hard to tell here, but it's a red, basically glow stick. All right, so you can use this for trick-or-treating, or you know, hang it in the you know, tent for camping and stuff. It does have a lanyard. Then you hit it again, and it has just a like strobe type mode or flashing mode. All right, so as far as a cheap, fun light for your kids to play with, whatever, yeah, they may pick this because it's got their favorite character on it or something, but this is a much better option as far as a fun light that's actually functional, you know, if they want to play around their room or, like I said, going camping or something like that. So definitely my favorite and the second best light, in my opinion, in the whole bunch here. So that's that. This one, total junk. There's 3 LEDs in there, crazy artifacts, again, just because of the setup here and the way that the LEDs are placed, plus this thing keeps getting loose on me. Again, looks impressive, you know, in the camera here, but with, you know, actual beam shots, which I decided not to do any beam shots for this just because there's so many lights. It would take forever to go through all of them and kind of explain each one, but I guess you kind of have to take my word for it. It looks a little bit more impressive than it really is. It really is total junk, even for $1. Like, can't really show you off the side, but I mean, this creates like a kaleidoscope effect on the wall. It's extremely distracting, and if you're really trying to light something up, it's hard to see. A lot of artifacts in this one. This one here, 3 LED. This looks like your common, you know, Chinese flashlight. It's not bad at all. Actually has a pretty good area, still tons of artifacts. For $1, it's not a bad buy, it's just not my favorite one. All right, same with this one. But this one is not as good as this, believe it or not. Even though it looks a little bit bigger, a little bit more like durable, you know, with the hard plastic as opposed to kind of the cheap aluminum, whatever. This one, not too bad. This one, again, crazy artifacts and nowhere nearly as bright. And as far as coloration, the only flashlights on this table that actually had a good bright white LED, there's actually 2 of them. And that would be this one right here and that one right there. They're a Westech brand, and we're not there yet, but that's the Family Dollar ones. All these other LEDs, I mean, some are incandescent, but all the LEDs on the table, they range anywhere from like straight up purple to pretty blue to, you know, kind of bluish white or whatever, but the LED coloration is just horrible. I mean, you're trying to light something up and to have a purple light on it, it's just not what you want, you know what I mean? So, I mean, it just speaks to the quality of LEDs. But again, for $1 to, you know, $2 or $3 for most of these lights, it's kind of expected. But yeah, this one here, even though this comes in a bunch of colors, it's kind of whatever. It's still much better than the kid one, you know what I mean? So you have that, but this one here is still brighter than this one. So like I said, that's why I feel this is like my second favorite. I haven't got to my favorite yet, I'm saving it for last. This one was a complete letdown. This takes 2 D batteries, all right? It has an LED in there, but there's so many artifacts and it's so lacking in light. I can't even begin to tell you. This is literally the least bright of all these flashlights. This flashlight is brighter than this one. This takes 2 AA's. This takes 2 huge D batteries, which obviously you can get for $1 at the dollar store, but I know there's not much juice in here. They feel like they're empty already. So it would be very expensive to feed this with real D batteries, you know, if you needed to. It's just a real letdown. It's oversized for no reason, you know what I mean? I mean, this is what people are comfortable with, you know, old school flashlights. But like I said, huge letdown, all right? So I would definitely stay away from this one. And then finally, my favorite from the Dollar Tree is right here, which is surprising because I made fun of this the most. This is the one that was considered the tactical, you know, adjustable beam, blah, 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 right? So we have this spheric lens here. And basically, the head here can rotate, okay, which brings the LED closer and further away from that lens, which widens the beam. This was not only the brightest flashlight, but this gave a perfect spotlight beam because of that lens, okay? So kind of hard to explain. I can show you on the table here. Actually, back up a little. It gives you a perfect field of view. In other words, when you're using this flashlight to light something up, there's no artifacts whatsoever. Okay, none. And as far as like, you know, putting this against the wall about 10 feet or so, you're getting about a 10-foot spread. It's giving you a nice wide spread. There's no hotspot or anything. However, because this is adjustable, as you adjust this head, it gives you a tighter and tighter beam. You can see the actual like little LED shape slightly when it's focused like this. That's something a lot of the cheaper you know, versions of this light, you know, something they all do pretty much. But this gives you a little bit more capability. This gives you the throw. So if you're using the, you know, the spotlight and it's not quite bright enough to a certain distance, you can, you know, adjust it if need be and get that throw. All right, but then obviously you're focusing your beam quite tightly and you're not getting, you know, the wide view. But I did find this to be the brightest and most versatile of all these flashlights. Now, the one thing is when you're in the middle mode here, it doesn't stay. It's either tight down or tight, you know, all the way focused. So if you like it like this or something, it's gonna, you know, flop around and be loose and stuff. So not a huge deal, but definitely worth mentioning. But this was $1 plus the batteries. Now the batteries are a separate charge, so I'm gonna have to consider this a $2 flashlight. All right, again, to walk out of the store with it functional, you're gonna spend at least $2. Now for $2, it does take 2, no, actually I think this one takes the AAA's. Let's check that real quick. Most of these flashlights take it takes 3 AAA's. Very, very common for the cheap Chinese flashlights, this little battery pack with 3 AAAs in there. All right, so just something to note. So you're gonna have to buy a 4-pack of batteries. At least you'll have one spare battery, but again, it'll be a $2 light. So this is my favorite flashlight from specifically the Dollar Tree. All right, so let's put that here. This is the winner. This is the, I guess, the honorable mention. Still very, very cool for a lot of people, not just kids, but the second kind of brightest with no artifacts at all. And of course you have these other functions, which is kind of a nice bonus. But the downside is you have to throw it away. You can't replace batteries. So now let's talk about the Family Dollar flashlights. Now what I mentioned earlier in the video is that the Family Dollar flashlights were more expensive overall. Okay, there's a couple flashlights in here that were $5, right? $5.75 for that big Dorsey 6-volt light. So way more expensive than the other two options. However, for the extra cost, you do get some extra features and you do get better quality lights. So right out of the gate, I'm gonna tell you this one is my favorite light from Family Dollar. It's $5. It's called the Work Light. It's by Westech. All right. So you turn it on once and you have 3 LEDs on the ends. There's almost no artifacts at all. So it's a nice, smooth, constant beam. All right. And then you can see on the side here, we have 8 LEDs. So if you turn it off, turn it back on, we have literally an area light. And this is actually pretty darn bright. All right, I think the packaging said it's supposed to be 140 lumens or something. It's probably the brightest light of all the lights here. I can easily say that. It is literally the brightest light, gives you the best light option for the area. But, you know, it's $5, so it's hard to compare a light that's $5 to a $1 light. You know, is this worth 5 times the price? Yes, definitely. However, when you're talking about dollar store lights, a lot of people are, you know, considering them to be $1. Because then once you get in the $5 range, there's probably other options out there from other stores. But this is my favorite. Plus it has a magnet, all right, and it has a little hanging clip that's you know, able to rotate and stuff. So you can put this in your vehicle. You know, if you break down somewhere or whatever, you can magnetize this to the hood of your car. I mean, there's a lot of options here as far as using it, and it's still pocketable. And if you put any of these lights and even this in your pocket, you can put this in your pocket. So definitely my favorite, the Westech utility light. If you're going for literally the brightest flashlight with the most options, that's your best bet. Okay, but if you're going for the cheapest and best value, whatever, I still have another thing in mind. But yeah, this is the winner right out of the gate here. My second favorite of this bunch is this one. I have actually a bunch of this style light. I use these in my safes where I keep ammo and gun stuff. Basically just a switch on the side. This one, however, has a 1 LED on the top, so you actually have a like a handheld flashlight type mode. But then you put it down and then you have, of course, the strip of LEDs, which is also very, very bright. Not quite as bright as the Work Light, but almost as bright. Plus, what's nice about this one too is that you have a magnetic piece that's inside of your clip here, so it is, you know, magnetized. This is a cheaper version of this light. This style light exists from a couple different companies. So if you spend like 10, 15 bucks, you can get a really good version of this light. All right, so quick price check here. This is still a $5 light, all right? So this is $5, this is $5. You know, maybe they have slightly different functions there, but they're both pretty bright, all right? Like I said, the brightest of anything on the table here, probably the second brightest, and both very versatile, all right? But, you know, $5 range. It's hard to compare, you know, to some of the cheaper lights. As far as this headlamp is $3.50. It's probably the cheapest headlamp you're ever gonna find. It is Dorsey brand. It's not a great headlamp, obviously compared to even $15 and $20 headlamps out there. There's 3 different modes. Turn it on. Oh, let me turn it off so I can show you this. You can see the LEDs in there. Low is basically just the middle LED, so it's 1 LED for low. Click it again, and 3 LEDs light up for medium, and then high is all the LEDs. The coloration is extremely blue compared to a lot of the other flashlights here, and it's nowhere near as bright as both of these Work Lights here. But it is the only headlight I found at a dollar store. Okay, so for $3.50, yeah, it's usable. If you've never used a headlamp ever and you're wondering if you're gonna like it or not or whatever, it might be a good place to start. But obviously there's much better options out there as far as being lightweight, more options, and way more light and a better coloration. But it wins for a headlamp because it's literally the only one that's available, at least at a dollar store. As far as this light here, very, very lackluster. All right, this has an incandescent bulb in it, takes 2 AA batteries. Horrific, absolutely horrific. Artifacts, I mean, you can even see them on the table here. It really does not emit much light at all. It's totally worthless compared to the other options here. So this one I would definitely not get. This one I think was $1. This one, however, was like $4. All right, now this one has an LED, but this is the one I was talking about that's literally purple. And it's not because the, you know, the light color's purple. This is only available in purple and pink, but I know that the pink ones aren't purple either. It's just that coloration. Three LEDs, just a horrible pattern on this thing. Tons of artifacts, and really it's not that bright at all. For $4, this is probably the worst deal on the table. So I would definitely stay away from the rubberized Dorseys, at least from Family Dollar. And then this one here is another 9 LED, very comparable to this as far, I mean the style, this is probably the most common style of like, you know, international cheap LED lights. This one has the 3 LEDs, this one has the 9. All right, this one's actually pretty usable. This is $2.50. And if they didn't have the Westtech stuff, this would be my favorite on the table. I just happen to like this one. It's just because it's, I mean, it's a little bit more at Family Dollar. For $2.50, you get the same light for $1, you know, at other places. So it's still overpriced there, but still not a bad option. All right, I think this was $5.75. Let me double check real quick. Family Dollar. Yeah, 6-volt floating lantern, $5.75. Now, compared to the Dollar General one, even though it's the same light, it's still a Dorsey. They are different generations. You can see slight pattern differences, you know, on the top part here. They both are sporting incandescent bulbs. So it's the same light, but I don't know, made at different times, I guess. But this one definitely has the most throw. But it's an extremely concentrated beam. You can see even just from here how small and tight that beam is. So if you're looking for the flashlight that's going to shine the furthest, this is, you know, your best bet. But again, being incandescent, even though I like the warmer coloration, you know, on the actual light, there's so many artifacts in here. There's so many shadows. It makes it very difficult to see something. All right, so if you're really looking for a budget searchlight, yeah, this is maybe the best bet if you're trying to see something, you know, past 50 feet. But it's still barely, you know, able to see anything. So, and obviously it's big and cumbersome and heavy, and you know, if they made an LED version of this 6-volt, it might be a little bit better. But as they're still doing it in incandescent, I just stay away from them. You know, it's just not really worth much. So that pretty much covers the Family Dollar stuff. The Westtech work light, absolutely my favorite. So, lastly, we have Dollar General. Dollar General, again, same deal. All right, there's Dorsey. This one, and you can see this one even has a different pattern. The beam on here is even worse. All right, that's gonna be kind of a crapshoot. Just again, depends on how far the bulb is, you know, the consistency of the reflector and stuff like that. Big, cumbersome. Let's see the price though in comparison. $5.75 at Family Dollar. The same exact light at Dollar General was $4.65. All right, so if you want that particular light, Dollar General has it cheaper. So just interesting to note. Again, same Dorsey as this one. Because these companies are related, I don't know, again, I think Dollar General owns Family Dollar. I think that's what it is. But if not that, it's the other way around. So you find similar products. You know, so these are literally identical, both incandescent, both extremely underpowered and useless compared to other options out here anyway. Yeah, it's better than nothing, but you know, if you can go out and get one of the LED ones, it's going to be much brighter and cheaper. Why not, right? Then we have this rubberized one, which is again extremely disappointing. Same as this rubberized one. All right, this has the most horrific coloration and pattern. It's like in between blue and purple, and again, you can see this kaleidoscope effect that this thing has. It's very distracting. It's very hard to actually light anything up. All right, so because we have those 3 LEDs, and they also have like these kind of, I don't know, protrusions. There's slight spherical lenses that are supposed to amplify it more. It's just not done right. So you end up having a big, bulky flashlight. This takes 2 AA batteries, so I don't know why it's so big. And it just has a bad color LED that's not very bright and just crazy artifacts. This would be really fun for your kid's room. They can, you know, play with it on the wall, but if you're trying to see something in the dark, that's certainly not going to be a good option for you. All right, so this one was very disappointing. And that one I think was like $2 or something. Let's see. The, I think that was the 251. But either way, not worth it. Then we have this this flashlight, which I think was the 2D. Let's double check here, make sure. Yep, so this takes 2D batteries. All right, this one again was very disappointing. It's big, it's cumbersome, it's expensive to replace the batteries. This one does have an LED in here, all right, which is interesting. I'd like to see if I could switch, you know, bulb options with some of the other lights, like if I could put this LED, say, in the 6 volt or something. But just extremely underpowered. Most of these 3 AAA flashlights, or even the 2 AA flashlights, are just way brighter. So it's big, it's bulky, it's expensive to feed the batteries, and it's not that bright. So I would stay away from it. And then finally, my favorite from Dollar General is this right here. This is a 9 LED, $1 flashlight that came with the batteries. And this is extremely bright. Again, might be hard to compare right now, you know, with the lights on in here and everything. But this is actually pretty impressive for $1. And it came in a bunch of colors. I just happened to get the green just to separate it so I can keep track of what's what. So this is the winner for Dollar General. So now we're going to be comparing my favorites from each store. We have the tactical light from Dollar Tree, the Westech utility light from Family Dollar, and this $1 Chinese light from Dollar General. Now, it's kind of hard to compare all 3 of these because they do offer different things. The brightest, best flashlight is the Westech, period, okay? Most options, most variety, most functions, most light, most capability, and it feels the most solid, okay? And this, if you're wondering, I believe this runs on AAAs. Yeah, it's just 3 AAAs. Very simple, and these have cheap, you know, dollar store batteries that are already included in it. You can put some good batteries in there, have it last even longer. But just, again, offers the best light. Amazing, absolutely amazing. For $5, the best dollar store flashlight. However, not the best value. Again, $5, right, for one light. Yes, it's the brightest and everything, but I'm trying to go for value here. If you're gonna spend $5 on a flashlight, maybe you spend $10 and get something 3 times as bright, you know? So it's kind of pushing the boundaries here for a dollar store flashlight. I mean, you're watching this to get the best value, right? So even though this is literally the best light, I don't think it's the best value. So now we're comparing these 2 lights. Now I went outside, I literally spent about 25 minutes walking around at night, looking in the yard and stuff, and trying to compare these things. And the winner is this one. And the reason is even though this has the capability of narrowing the beam and getting more throw, when this has a very narrow beam, when it's adjusted so that the beam is, you know, at its finest point for the most throw, I found that this one still reaches as far as that beam, but it's brighter and it lights up the area around it as well. So in essence, this one is brighter than this light. And this one came with batteries. Remember, this one did not come with batteries, okay? So this is a $2 light. This is a $1 flashlight with batteries and brighter than the other favorite of mine. So besides both of these Westechs, okay, this provided the most light of all the lights on the table. Simple, Chinese, $1 flashlight, all right, the 9 LED, which again, you could find these at gas stations everywhere, all across, I mean, the country, and I'm sure all across the world. Probably the most common, which is actually pretty interesting to me, because I thought something like, you know, this Dorsey rubberized one would be a little bit more brighter or something, or offer a little bit more, or even these I thought would be better than the little cheap Chinese ones, you know? So very surprising. Like, this was total junk in comparison, and more expensive. So the best dollar store flashlight, by far, Westech utility light from Family Dollar. The best value dollar store flashlight. If you want to go in there and you want to buy 20 flashlights for you and your buddies, or all your family members or whatever, you're going to get your best bang for your buck at Dollar General buying these $1 9 LED flashlights. Batteries included, ready to go. And again, in comparing it, I can get 5 of these and give them to 4 other people for the same I can get, you know, one of these. So that's my my opinions. That's been my findings for the dollar store flashlights, the big shootout here. This all started with, I was actually at Dollar Tree, and I was picking up this light, and I thought, oh, it's pretty cool. And I thought, I wonder how bright that is. And then I, you know, obviously saw all the other lights. I'm like, you know what? It kind of clicked in my head. I'm like, I'm gonna try every flashlight from every dollar store to see what's the best option, you know, the best bang for your buck. Now, I love Dollar Tree because literally everything's a dollar. And when you think dollar store, you'd think, you know, cheap. Now, I'm obviously excluding 99-cent stores because it's not a dollar store technically, but obviously there's tons more. You're probably gonna find a lot of these and these and these at your 99-cent stores as well. So same difference, pretty much the same thing. But yeah, this was definitely the best bang for your buck. The little 9 LED. Now this one is plastic. It's kind of a rubbery type plastic, but more common you'll find is the aluminum ones. This one happens to be 3 LED, but it'll be basically the same thing with 9 LEDs. Does this one have 3? No, this one has 9. So these are the two probably most common ones you'll find. Now comparing these two together, the green one did have a better coloration. It's more pure white. This has a little bit more of a bluish coloration, but they're still very similar. All right, it's just this one happened to, and it could be the difference in the batteries that were included in here. You know, that can make a difference. The batteries I put in here were from the Dollar Tree, or wherever I got it. I believe this was from Dollar Tree. But regardless, I used dollar store batteries on purpose, all right, to replicate what it would be like if you bought the batteries where you got the flashlight. But yeah, there's your best bang for your buck, and there's your brightest. And there's a pretty cool option for $1 if you already have batteries. So there you go. There's my my findings, my conclusion. Of course, let me know down below what you think. And obviously, this is all the options as of 2017. You know, if you're watching this video years from now, there's going to be different flashlights available. Obviously, there's going to be a variety of different things that are going to change. But as of right now, this is my my opinions on dollar store flashlights. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day. I'll see you guys soon. Take care.